Third quarter from Avondale Heights, out of the sheds and in desperate need of a run of consecutive goals.
Who knows what we can expect, Teo, but what we need to see from them is we need to see them kick the first few goals to give themselves any chance in this contest at the margin. At the moment, the margin of 36 points, it's a very difficult task, almost as difficult as ascending Greenvale Everest, Chief.
9-11-65 Greenvale, Avondale Heights 4-5-29, and we need to see something from Avondale Heights in this second half, otherwise there will be serious questions after this one as Greenvale go bang, and it's Marrick who will go across the face.
Did Avondale Heights lose a point at half-time, guys?
They did, and Greenvale gained a point, but we were correct, Dave. 9-11 to 4-5 was the score we had here in the box, and an early behind makes it 9-12-66 to 4-5-29, and Adam Marrick is in front by that far for player of the day. He could sit the rest of the game out right now, and someone's going to have to play very well to be better.
Greenvale Junior?
Greenvale Junior, of course.
As Avondale Heights try to bring this one back in, it's been a difficult task for them. They've had to kick it back in 12 times today. And once again, Greenvale are going to keep it inside their 50 because Macheski's won himself a free kick at half forward. Probably too far out to score. A little lead there from Hill into the pocket, ignored another little lead from Rowan. And now the long set-up kick to the top of the square. Thompson waits down. It comes off hands. Here he is at the back of the pack. He gathers. Handball into space, and it's forced through by Grossman. Another behind, and another opportunity for Avondale to kick the ball in. Maybe an opportunity that they don't want today, Chief.
As Grossman goes wide towards the outer side, and the mark is taken. I'm just going to have to guess it from this far away. I think it was Morris who goes further down the line, and Miles couldn't take the mark. Naina was there for Greenvale. Hand pass back, didn't find the target, and then further back is Sardo. They're working backwards, the Jets at the moment. It's come all the way back to Burns, and now it's at half back and still going backwards as Smith goes inboard. They might finally move forward now, the Jets. It's in the hands of Cheney.
But just controlling the footy, controlling the play, and now they've just got loose men everywhere.
3:41 departure from Tullamarine has just left, and he's flying over Section Road as we speak as the ball goes inboard. Parthenopoulos had it and lost it. Has to contest up against Rose, who just scoops the ball out and eventually did get it to advantage. And the Heights are away now through Burn. Hand pass out to Rose.
And they've got some movement going forward. Galea, he's so strong ahead up above. And
a bit of a tickle around the ears there from Campusano. He is a very traditional fullback. And it's a free kick. I'm not sure what for.
Jeez, it was a strong mark, and there must have been something said. I think that must be the only explanation, or maybe a free kick off the ball, because Galea, from our
bit going on now.
Yeah, from our vantage point, didn't do anything wrong.
They are having a full-blown jumper punch. We'll wait, and Galea's shaped up there. I think he needs to. There are two cameras here at this game. This is not the sort of day where you want to try and start a genuine fight. I think then thankfully they've broken up. We want to see them on the field.
The two heavyweight number ones doing battle inside, attacking 50 for Avondale Heights.
Can you verbally give away a free kick in that situation, or must someone have infringed?
It was something else. It couldn't just be because you mouthed off.
And they're back wrestling again, guys.
Well, the ball's about to go into their vicinity. A short pass inside 50.
Rose
ends up with Rose. Tanner left it as Cravino was the man that put it inside 50. And now Galea and Campusano are both in the goal square, and they've finally broken the tussle.
Watch this space. Now, one of the criticisms we had of Patrick Rose in the final series was he took a lot of set shots from this sort of range, just on 50 or 55 metres out, and at Windy Hill he just wasn't able to make the distance. This is traditionally the scoring end of Greenvale Recreation Reserve. The wind, if there is wind, often favours this end. He should be able to get the journey on this kick.
He's kicked one today, and Chief, as you know, very inaccurate at interleague. In the only time that we've seen him this season. He kicks from right on the 50, and this one's going to drop short as well. Can they find a mark? It comes off hands. Beautiful roving. Davies round the corner and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Well, he did everything to get to the fall of the ball. The kick let him down, though.
Campsiano's gone fishing up at Section Road. I didn't know there was good fishing up here, but he's got a couple of bites.
And there right there, Tail, is the reason why we're critical of Patrick Rose having shots from that sort of range. Such a wee little man like that.
Did not look good. I mean, he's got dynamites in the boot, though, and sometimes, and it just didn't look good off the boot there, so I'm not sure whether that'll be his one-sided from that range, and maybe now he'll try and take his set shots a little closer to goal, and in future look for the pass from that sort of distance. But as Claire said before, it is not the blowiest day here, but sometimes it is very windy, and that southern end of Section Road can be very much advantaged by the wind.
So throw in between wing and half forward on the outer side for Avondale Heights. They are currently down by 38. 9:13 plays 5 minutes into the third quarter. That's Section Road, and a quick kick up towards half forward now. Cartelli went looking for Rose. Galea's lurking as well, and then third man in, Jones gets put over the line boundary, throw in right forward pocket.
Well, we've sent Claire Varley over to the outer side where we don't have reception, but she's listening into Sadi Ghazi for the first 5 minutes of this quarter, and so far, other than hitting the scoreboard, I reckon that this is much improved from Avondale Heights, and they are right on the limits of staying in this match if they can get a run on.
Boundary throwing inside there, attacking 50. Little tap down there from Walsh was to advantage, but then they give away a free kick, and Greenvale with time to build from their defensive 50. As we've played 5.5 minutes, and it is 2 behinds to nothing favouring Greenvale in this quarter so far, as they're looking to exit defensive 50. Naina with a lead, and that's the direction they go. In fact, it's going to clear him out towards Zumbo, who takes the mark right in front of his own bench. Now looks up for options. Hill provides the quality lead, and he goes in that direction, takes a mark on the wing, wants to move it on quickly. Little chip around the corner to Naina. Can go long and inside 50, one-on-one here. It's a big task for Marek, but he got front position and was so strong in the marking contest. Geez, he's a quality player.
That was a great mark, and now if he kicks this 45-degree angle, never easy kicking goals from the pockets at the northern end of the ground. This really would just be a solidification of best player on the ground status today.
It's only 6.5 minutes in to the third term. He's already pretty much got our awards sewn up, and he's got this shot for a bag of 5. Runs in. Oh, it's a textbook set shot that hits the post.
Shaves the inside of the post.
It was the perfect ball drop. It was the perfect setup. It just looked like it was going to go through, but this is a fluky wind at Section Road today.
9:14.68 to 4:5.29.
If anything, too much vertical, not enough horizontal on that kick, and that's perhaps where the downfall came as Avondale Heights moved the ball on the outer side as per usual. Justin Morris got tangled up, but still the ball spilt out. Now it's Miles who moves it towards the wing. No 15. No, just 15 for Tanner. And he has the footy outer side. He's going to wait for a kicking option. Just long and down the line. Galea is the sandwich up against DeLuca and Camposano. The former got the ball out to Johnson. Off ball, free kick coming up. Reece Miles, who was at half back a moment ago, he has been a real workhorse today for Avondale Heights. Also good last week against Pascoe Vale. Kicked a goal there, so he's had a good start to his Avondale Heights tenure.
Jabbo, good call holding the man.
Yeah, no, it was there, but, the umpires might want a bit of a contest like we do.
So this, to just keep it half interesting at the moment, there's a real lull around Section Road. The kick is missing to the near side. 4:6:30, Avondale Heights, Greenvale, 9:14.68. And yeah, it does feel a bit lackluster at the moment. Unfortunately, all our listeners on 98.9 Northwest FM, we can't really polish the proverbial because it's not that great right now here at Section Road.
That's one way of putting it. And the kick in, is that out on the full, or did Rowan get his fingertips on it? Got his hands on it, so it's a throw in on the half-back flank. 8 minutes have flown by in this quarter, and at the moment it is 3 behinds to 1. Adam Marek has kicked 2 of them, so even when they're kicking minors, not majors, he's the dominant player on the ground.
Yeah, you sort of feel like this has been Avondale's most competitive patch, and they've only got 1 behind to show for it and still trail the quarter. Free kick from the stoppage, it's going their way. So Heights free kick at about half forward, and it's going to go to Cartelli. 55 out, kicks into Galea in the pocket. He takes another strong mark. Camposano makes him earn it. He's going to do that all day. But he's right up against the boundary line. His right hand almost touching the fence here, and he's got a distance of about 40 metres to contend with. It would be a fine set shot if he can execute correctly here. Galea improves the angle and then kicks on goal. It's not going to quite have the carry. Smith forces it through, and a behind 3-2 this quarter now in favour of Greenvale and we've played 9.5 minutes.
Adam, you saw something there?
I didn't necessarily see anything, but again, just these hard set shots that Avondale Heights are being forced into.
Low percentage offense.
I don't know if it's Greenvale's setting up.
And it's on again. I'll watch the fight. You guys watch the ball. Reece Johnson is giving a lot of size to Dean Galea there. I don't think that's a fight he can win, and he runs.
It broke up pretty quickly.
He's going to get the ball here. He's going to let his footy do the talking, and that's what you prefer to see.
So Johnson's in the blind at the moment for us. If you don't know what that means, it's a giant setup for the Greenvale bench, and it's obscuring a small part of the ground here from our commentary position. So we didn't see the kick, but we saw that it went up towards half forward, and now it will go out of bounds. And another throw in, 9:14:68. Greenvale, Avondale Heights, 4:7:31.
More physicality here. Sato is getting involved, and they've actually just ducked below the roof of the clubhouse. And I think the umpire has said enough's enough. I'm going to pay a free kick here. And I'm interested to see which way this one's going to go. The umpire is pointing Avondale Heights' way. So someone has infringed there. There's literally only about 2% of the ground we can't see, and that free kick took place in about the 1% that we can't see down in the forward pocket.
And it was kicked from the other 1% as well, Teo. So a patch of vision that we just missed. Meantime, Cartelli goes inboard to Vecchio, who goes further with the switch. And look at the run coming off half back. This is Grossman. He runs his full measure, then kicks long towards half forward. Camposano with a big fist over the top of Galea. Oh, that's a big win for Greenvale. A motivating win, and they should win the clearance as well. Naina got the footy. Handballs back, and they go up to Brewer at centre half back, who's got time to play on. Needs to get around Walsh, though. Brewer, much more nimble on this occasion, goes to Hill. One-handed effort. Didn't quite come down with it. Nick Marrick there to mop up. Goes inboard. They've got numbers loose. One of them is Muller. The big fella takes a bounce. He runs his full measure. Kicks to the top of the square. Adam Marrick couldn't quite take the mark. He might gather at ground level. In the end, paves away. Grosso got round one. Gazzo, I should say, got round another and kicked a goal. The Jets go end-to-end. That's great footy from them. And they kicked the opening goal of the second half.
You feel for the Avondale Heights defender there, because he had no one to kick to, and does he pick up the ball and get buried in the tackle, or does he soccer it along the line? He goes for the soccer kick. It's a fresh air shot, leaves the ball behind, and Greenvale runs into an open goal. And when it's not your day, those things happen. 11 minutes gone, 14:74 to 4:7:31. It is a game-high 43 points.
Avondale Heights not too happy with Thompson at the moment, so I don't know if he's. I would say it's probably verbal. He loves giving plenty of lip out on the field.
Are we giving that one to Gazzo or Marrick?
Dave said Gazzo.
Gazzo.
So it's goal number 4 for Joe Gazzo today. We're back in the middle. Just on that, Adrian, if it was Avondale Heights, I'd be more worried about the scoreboard than Jacob Thompson at the moment. They inside 50 again here to Jets. A quick snap and another quick goal.
Give that one
bang, bang, in 30 seconds. Dave, who was it?
Adam Marrick.
Goal number 5.
They're going goal for goal today. They've kicked 11 for the day. 11:14:80 to 4:7:31, and that's 5 for Adam Marrick. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Gazzo, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. It's a match high, 49 points now. 11:14:80 to 4:7:31.
The way we're going at the moment, this is going to be a 10-15 goal win.
Well, Claire Varley is back within range down on the sidelines. Claire, you've spent about 10 minutes over on the Avondale Heights sidelines. What can you report from over there? Claire, come in now.
They're really not happy with their midfield. That's the main thing I picked up. They're trying to swap out players from there and improve. The words they used were leadership. There's no leadership out there and no initiative.
Oh, that's very significant. Thank you, Claire. We'll try and get hold of Sadi Ghazi. Now, Daniel Camposano's off with a blood nose, so keep an eye on that, Claire. He's got the red rag up to the schnoz at the moment, so he's over on the sidelines.
No surprise, Adrian, that.
Look at this. The midfield once again under question for Avondale Heights as Greenvale go forward towards Hill. He's got company, though, in Byrne. Byrne does well, wins the one-on-one. His kick goes out of the defensive zone, but there's a pack of Jets waiting for it. And one of them, in the end, that takes the mark is Muller. Little one over the top. He had a 2-on-1. In the end, the 1-1 out. And now Naina runs in, kicks on goal, and bangs it through. Another goal for the Jets. It's raining goals for the green machine that is Greenvale.
12-14-86 to 4-7-31, out to 55 points. That is Rowan Naina's second goal of the day. And Jambo, this is a real worry. Where's the fight from Avondale Heights? Their percentage is already has already been blown away for the first round by Pascoe Vale. And today, it is really in danger of taking another absolute hiding.
It's going to take a hiding at this stage. They're just not working. Are they not fit? Have they done the work over pre-season? This is horrible.
12-14 to 4-7, and another trickling ball to half forward for Greenvale, but on this occasion, it's cut off by Cartelli. We heard Claire speak of the rotating midfield, and usually Cartelli's in there right now, playing in the defensive half of the ground as they get it through Tanner inside 50, and that's a good kick. Miles has some space, goes for the pocket. The kick no good though as a Taberner. Might have just caught a little glimpse of the red hair. I did. It is Taberner. And in the end, a rush behind for Avondale Heights, and they quickly bring the ball back into Greenvale. Free kick will be taken by Nick Marrick. Here goes over the top. We're in the blind. Dave, your turn.
It's
Matt Smith.
He's been a good player as well, Nick Marrick, for them today. Probably played a little bit further up the ground than his namesake Adam.
No, brother, Dave.
Brother. There you go. And what's his story, Tat?
VFL player along with Adam Marrick the last couple of years.
Very good player. As Greenvale win themselves a free kick. It's DeLuca right on centre wing. Awkward ball drop, but got good penetration in the kick. A very high ball towards Hill at half forward. It's punched away from him. Williams makes sure it goes out of play. Boundary throw in at half forward for the Jets, who lead this one 12-14, 86. Avondale Heights 4-8-32. 15 and a half minutes gone in the third term, Chief.
Claire Varley, Daniel Camposano's come back on after that blood nose.
Yeah, it seems like more of an inconvenience than any real issue.
All right, so he's back on. We'll keep an eye on his ongoing battle with Dean Galea.
Lower in towards the hotspot. Gazzo, hand pass out. Open goal coming up, but Johnson dropped it. And now the support came there from Marrick, and Avondale Heights will get away with one there. The umpire from down the field, that might be our man paying the free kick.
To be
from
fair,
off the ground.
Greenvale got away with a pretty blatant push in the back to get the ball over the top there to begin with.
All right, so
They all even up.
Burnt will go towards the shades on the outer side, and Rose again. A long way from where we're used to seeing him. He got the release ball out, and now it's in the hands of Taberner, who will move it on towards half forward. A very open forward half here for Avondale Heights. A bit of holding and another free kick will go their way. Quickly taken by Tanner inside 50. Galea hits the ball on the chest. He did well to take that because the kick had a bit too much on it. Most of us would not have taken that mark, but it was still good enough for Dean Galea.
The game within a game, Daniel Camposano smacked the ground there in anger because he does not want to lose this head-to-head matchup against Dean Galea. It's become personal between these two, and it is perhaps the real contest at the moment because the scoreboard is going in one very steady direction.
That's the only real indicator of who wins that matchup at the end of the day, Teo. It is that scoreboard, regardless of what Dean Galea does. On this occasion, he misses, and it's 4-9-33 now. Avondale Heights, Greenvale 12-14. 86. That's a fair enough call, isn't it, Teo? At the end of the day,
yeah, but I mean, it's good that it means a lot to the Greenvale defence that they are trying to close out Avondale Heights here. 4-9, and at the moment, I mean, are they going to top 50 points for the day? Greenvale right now have probably already got a match-winning score on the board, and we're not even into stoppage time. Into time on, I should say, of the third quarter.
They've worked it to the wing from the kick in, and now Rowan short to Brewer, inside to DeLuca, plays on and back to Brewer. This is this lateral switch that they like to do across the ground. Naina took a very nice little slips catch and then got it onto Farcione. Had time and space at centre half forward, probably needed to do better than that, but they've got it inside 50 and they're putting pressure. Good tackle there came from Sardo, forced the turnover. It's now with Rowan about 70 out from his defensive line. Little short one to Nick Marrick into space and asking his teammate there to lead forward, Adam Marrick. And brother, and now short in towards Hill. Good cut-off defensive mark is taken though, and Avondale Heights should reset here. The long kick up towards Taberner is punched away by Rowan, spills out of play. Boundary thrown about 80 out from the Greenvale goals, grandstand side.
I'm going to make a call here. Tom Hill is quality. I mean, you can see why he caught the attention of two AFL clubs and unfortunately never cracked it for that senior game. Injuries played a huge role, but he looks like he is going to absolutely dominate this competition. I love the way he moves to the ball.
I didn't notice him before Claire pointed out that he had his teeth knocked in, and since then I think he's been sensational.
more aerodynamic, perhaps, Dave, as he runs across section row. The ball goes out of bounds again.
Maybe a higher VO2. There's more oxygen coming into his mouth.
Well, as far as we know, it was a knock, not a structural damage, we hope. So he seems to have played through that, and as you say, been quite prolific winning the ball ever since that knock to the head. So good that his day didn't come to a premature end.
We've had 2 boundary throw-ins, and DeLuca will make sure we don't get a third as he goes around the body and hits the target. And I think it's Joe Gazzo again who's going to have a shot. He is a lovely set shot. And this is the kind of range where he just usually goes bang and the goal umpire doesn't really have to do anything.
He's been one of the most consistent and reliable players of any EDFL club in Premier Division in the last 5 years, Joe Gazzo. He always tries, always performs, and again, he's lining up for goal number 5 today. He's had a real day out.
So he's one behind Adam Marrick as we speak on 4. Mind you, Avondale Heights themselves have 4 for the day. So this for goal number 5, and to outscore Avondale Heights. Gazzo will miss to the near side. A bit of wind which has picked up Clare Valley. It's blowing towards us up here at the commentary position on top of Greenvale Everest at the moment. But what's it doing at ground level?
It's not strong at all. It's just a little bit of a breeze, really.
Well, I guess we're feeling it more than the players out on the ground at the moment, because right now, Dave, it's rather strong.
Yeah, it is. As Avondale Heights try to clear defence, but once again Hill gets involved. Little short one in board is good, and the mark is taken by Stillman right on his attacking 50. He'll take a pretty good kick from there. Is that Brewer or Stillman? I think
that would be Brewer with the bright green boots.
it is Brewer. So we know that he is a beautiful left foot kick. Whether he's got the distance into this wind is another question. Brewer gives it absolutely everything. It's going to drop about 5 metres short. Oh, off the ground. Gazzo just pushed it to the far side.
That is now 2 car horns that have gone off early today.
It was almost an incredible goal, but not to be.
If you're in the car listening to us on 98.9 Northwest FM, just make sure the goal umpire gives the all clear first before you
They can honk
fool
whenever,
us into
they
thinking.
can honk whenever they want.
If you're
It's actually Harrison sitting next to us.
if you're at the
For
ground,
sake of it.
if you're at the ground and listening, give us a toot.
Now, guys,
Is
we've
that
got a score from around the grounds. The comeback is on. Maribyrnong Park 4-10-34, trailing Keilor 7-12-54. It's back to just 20 points at three-quarter time. Maribyrnong Park goalless to half-time, back in it at three-quarter time. That is game on at Joe Brown Oval, and that game is a few minutes ahead of this one, so we'll keep an eye on that through the final quarter.
Give yourself a pat on the back, Teo. You called that one.
Here go Avondale Heights.
Well, look at them. They're away. They've got it to half forward. A little 1-2 there. Smith went to Tanner. Back to Smith. Over the top. Williams has time and space to run in and kick a goal. And he does. Heights go coast to coast. And they kick a much-needed goal.
Well, it's at 12-16-88 to 5-9-39. The margin is back to 49 points, of course. It was 36 at half-time. So Greenvale still winning the quarter by 13 points.
They're getting still getting smashed clearance-wise. This quarter, it is 8-3 Greenvale's way. So they're just dominating, and a lot of that's coming from their ruckman Fabian DeLuca.
And just repeating that one around the ground score, we've got at three-quarter time in Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division. Keilor 7-12-54, leading Maribyrnong Park 4-10-34 by 20 points with 1 quarter to go.
It's an even 50 at Section Road, back in the middle, in the mud heap. Here at Greenvale Recreation Reserve. Brewer got tackled off the ball. Umpire let it go. Avondale Heights wobble one inside 50. Camposano could have picked it up there. Decided to go for the tap towards the line. I reckon he had time to pick up and actually use the ball and get it moving, but instead we've got the neutral ball left forward pocket.
Three-quarter time at Roxburgh Park, 8-10-58, leading Coburg Districts 2-5-17. We might have a new premiership favourite in Division 2.
Well, and also Roxburgh Park, they've been pipped at the post by Joe Brown Oval today. They're usually the first scores in.
Usually the first scores in, that is very true.
They're still up there as
the defending champions.
DeLuca won the tap down. Was that out of play by Johnson? No. But his kick was, and it hit the fence on the full. A free kick to Avondale Heights.
Keep in mind our game is running a bit late today, so we'll have most scores coming through before this one's out.
Yep, we are on until 5:30 this afternoon. EDFL review, and I've got a few coaches in mind to get on the blower if their teams win today, so stay with us for the post-game show.
Stretton went to Cravino, who's almost missed his foot, the kick, and it just dribbled inside 50. They might make up for it. Stretton's tackle was reasonably good, but Greenvale's still away. Brewer takes the mark, didn't break stride, kept on running. Handball back inboard towards Sardo. Didn't find him on the full, had time to pick up and gather and then kick, and it was terrible. They edged it forward with absolutely no aesthetic value, but they made it forward all the same, and that's all that matters really. There's a boundary throw-in at half forward for Greenvale.
Well, they had another goal at their mercy there, Greenvale. If not for the inaccurate kicking, this could have already been considerably worse, and we've still got a quarter to go. Who knows which direction this game might head.
Claire, the breeze at ground level now because it seems to be getting stronger up here.
Yeah, it's definitely picking up now. We're starting to feel it.
Cross breeze heading towards us. So
very rare. It's normally to north or south here at Greenvale. Very rare that it goes across the ground.
Is it the Greenvale doctor?
Well, maybe the locals might experience a bit more than we do, but definitely the southern end is traditionally the scoring end here at the ground.
It's blowing towards the Tasman as we speak. The ball is on the outer wing for Avondale Heights. It's picked up there by Grossman. He went in board. A couple of handballs over the top. They might just mess this up. Avondale Heights. Greenvale got back in numbers. A clever tap forward by Vecchio. Just got it moving inside 50. Miles had 2 Jets to beat. He went to ground level, and just too many green and black jumpers in the end for Avondale Heights, and they got the ball out. It's out of bounds near Sadi Ghazi's bench.
Outnumbering. It was 3-on-2 there. They're just working both ways, Greenvale, where Avondale aren't working hard enough.
Well, margin even 50 points as we tick towards the 26-minute mark of the third term. A boundary throw-in right in front of Saad Ghazi in the dejected Avondale Heights coaching box. They've had a tough day, as have the players on the field. They win this clearance though. Grosso got it inside 50, and now Tanner, but clears him. Chance at ground level.
Clever.
Very good from Galea. Got the handball over the top, and they finish off with a goal to Avondale Heights. The players go to Dean Galea. He was the one that instigated the goal that was in the end kicked. Might have been Williams, was it?
I've got my eye on him, Dave, so as soon as he reveals his number, we'll give that goal kicker.
The score is 12-16, 88 to 6-9-45, 43 points. Just a reminder, it was 36 at halftime.
Inside 50s at the moment are 13 to Greenvale, 11 to Avondale, but Greenvale have just been more getting better percentage when they're going inside 50. But Avondale are sort of hanging in there, but yeah, it's still a big margin.
Phil Smith, the goal kicker for Avondale Heights. We're back in the middle once more, and it's Stretton with the hand pass over the top, and Miles needs to get away from one tackler. That was Farcioni. Took too long, holding the ball, free kick, Greenvale. Maynard, half forward, Sardo, good mark. He was too deep. He's got the quick hand pass option in Thompson, decides not to go there. Not really in a position to handball the ball out, so he held on to it, went in board. Brewer just got the kick out in time. A diving effort there. Superman was Naina. Couldn't take the mark. Out the back under pressure. Nastasi, and it will be cleared out now by Avondale Heights as Taberner goes up, ran into his own teammate, comes out the back. Rowan, hand pass in board. Greenvale, they're just toying now with Avondale Heights. Brewer, who is going to come off the ground, got it to Rowan. Now Sardo over the top. Naina. All the big names are stepping up for Greenvale today. Inside 50, and a clean bowled Adam Marrick out the back. Avondale Heights will get this ball out slowly but surely, and now it's Stretton who takes a bounce, goes wide. Kick no good though. DeLuca, he forced the turnover, and this might end in a ball up. No, it'll be a push in the back.
Well, guys, once again, the 25-minute mark of the quarter has actually sparked the game into life with a bit more intensity. It's really been odd. Teams aren't burning out. They're actually finishing stronger at the end of each term, and we've got a mark inside forward 50 for Greenvale.
Gazzo went short, and his partner in crime took the mark. Adam Marrick is inside 50. He's going to have a set shot on goal from about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. It's definitely no certainty today. Accuracy has plagued both sides, or inaccuracy has plagued both sides. 16 behinds for Greenvale.
He needs to aim this at the left point post.
8 for Avondale. In comes Marrick. Goal umpire does not move. The perfect execution of set shot from Adam Marrick makes it 6 goals for him, and Greenvale snare a late goal in the shadows of three-quarter time.
3 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. 6 for the day, and it is 13-16-94 to 6-9-45. The margin back out to 49 points, and Greenvale very much on top. And again, Avondale Heights, for about 2 minutes there, we saw an intensity step up, a bit more ferocity in the tackling, and Greenvale respond by controlling the ball, keeping possession, and taking it in for a very good goal.
He was goalless last week out of Merrick, and he's got 6 today. We're not even at three-quarter time just yet. Is that an indictment on the defence of Avondale Heights?
Quite possibly, but also the big man there, Fabian DeLuca, I've loved his game today.
I'd love to know when we speak to Shannon Grant, hopefully after the match, who played on Adam Marrick last week from Aberfeldy, because it's probably a credit to whoever his direct opponent was last week.
So the umpire will throw it up. And again, it's the question of depth down at Avondale Heights as Sardo releases the ball out, and Thompson will give off the little handball, and Nick Marrick will go inside 50 and hit the chest of Hill. Teo's man can go back and get himself onto the score sheet.
Well, like I said, leading out there, just well clear of his opponent, and smart football. Greenvale are just looking so clinical, and for all the talk about how long it took them to adjust to Adam McPhee last season, it's round 2, and they look absolutely locked in on the Shannon Grant game plan at the moment.
They may have learned a few lessons from last year. Greenvale, who did not go back to the finals, defending their 2013 premiership, and
Great kick.
they were going for 3 in a row as Hill goes bang.
Quality.
Greenvale just keep going bang, 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 and all of a sudden they've hit a ton at Section Road. 14-16, 100. As soon as our mate gets the graphic off, there you go, 6-8-44, so 56 points.
6-9-45, apologies, they are a point out, but it's 55 points, which is an equal game high in this match so far, and I can tell you that it's Hadfield 12-16-88, leading Keilor Park 9-11-65 at three-quarter time in Division 2.
Well, the third quarter has now ticked past 30 minutes, and it's been all pain for Avondale Heights as the three-quarter time siren brings it to an end. A little bit there between Hill and Rose right at the end there, and the umpire's just coming in to try and sort things out. Three-quarter time brawl not ensuing for now.
Think of next week.
They've given up, not just for the game, but for the season. And he told them to start respecting the EDFL.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And it was pretty quick, was it, Claire? Because they've been out of position for now 3 minutes.
I got over there, he was chatting, and then it was done. It was, they're out, yeah.
Wow.
So they have officially thrown in the towel, Avondale Heights, to start this last quarter. 55 points down.
That's why we have Claire Varley on the boundary line with a huge, potentially breaking story here in EDFL.
Okay, last quarter is underway. Parthenopolis, he'll just juggle in a mark and go over the top, and they are officially toying now with Avondale Heights. They're taking the mickey here, Greenvale. They go inside 50 and out of bounds, a boundary throwing.
Now, we've got the remaining Premier scores. Pascoe Vale 17-14, 116, leading Airport West 3-7-25, and Northern Saints 7-6-48, trailing Aberfeldy 21-12, 138. That one's now out to 90 points. You can see the scores and recap them for yourself at Essendon DFL on Facebook and at EDFL Footy on Twitter.
Boundary thrown inside 50 for Greenvale. At the bottom of that pack, Machevsky kicked up to the hot spot. Here's Gazzo coming through with pace. Can he get onto it in the end? No, he's beaten by the goal line. So a rush behind is the result. 14-17, 101 Greenvale. Avondale Heights 6-9-45. Opening couple of minutes, or opening minute here as Avondale Heights bring it back in. Long kick was intended for Byrne. He had to come from behind. He ended up getting the punch over the top and gathered, got it to Davies. They've got a bit of space here, Avondale, on the far side. They're going to move it up towards the wing, but that's where it all ends. The turnover comes, and now DeLuca with time and space in the middle.
Yeah, Rose overran the ball on that occasion on the outer wing, so that was the resulting turnover for Greenvale. Inside 50 we go once more, and no mark taken by Marrick on that occasion. Now he's got to go back and do the chasing, and he did well up against Nastasi, but still the kick got away in towards the middle of the ground. Owen took the mark back to the man that gave it to him, Charlie Nastasi. Inside 50, Galea's waiting for the sit. Decided not to go up in the end. It stayed back. Jones was there. Loose man inside 50 for Avondale Heights is Grossman, but
ducked into it.
Not
He said twice.
providing
Good
the
call,
option.
umpire.
Noel's looking at Grossman there. What did you guys see in the contest?
He just kept ducking his head.
Now, guys, just need to recap one more thing. Goal kickers, Marrick has 6, Gazzo 5, Naina 2, Smith 1 and Hill 1, while for Avondale Heights, Galea has 2 singles to Aaron Williams, Patrick Rose, Charlie Nastasi and Phil Smith.
Geez, I don't like that when when there's a player that could pick the ball up that's right next to them and give it to their opposition, and they choose not to.
I think the problem is, Dave, that if you pick it up and then, throwing is not a skill of the game, and if you don't throw it back to your opponent accurately, it's 50 metres, and of course no one trains to throw, so why would you do it?
Yeah, I guess. Not a good kick from the free kick. It went straight to Cartelli, but he put his kick inside 50 and it's turned over once again. Burns didn't quite gather possession, ran into a brick wall in DeBrit. It's in dispute at half forward here for Avondale, who are having a crack at the moment. DeBrit wins himself a free kick, Morris wins himself a free kick, I should say. And they're going to go forward. Long kick to the hot spot. Galea's got a few to beat. In the end, it's a beautiful mark taken by Rowan, who just flew like a sprightly young 19-year-old footballer. And Greenvale.
Avondale Heights in that third quarter, Claire Varley said from the bench they were lacking leadership. There is no lack of leadership at Greenvale. James Rowan is a sensational captain.
Certainly is, and they worked it to the wing, but now Avondale trying to progress themselves.
And chasing the ball down, Luke Cartelli won't get there. It goes out of bounds in front of the club rooms here at Greenvale. They're going to record a big win. They'll go to 1-1, and the big story will be 0-2 Avondale Heights. Lackluster. I'm going to say unprofessional. That's the way I'm going to describe Avondale Heights today. Umpire brings this ball back into play once more, and it's claimed over the top by hand. Did well in the end as well, did Stillman, to get a ball out initially, and then he's got it back. He was on the back foot though, under pressure, so couldn't dispose of it very well. Avondale Heights get the ball back, and Jones will wobble one towards Galea. Had a couple to beat, and there's Jets out the back here. Ball just loose in the pocket, and they'll very easily clear the ball out. Centre wing, mark taken right on the chest, a big thump onto Muller's chest.
I don't have an exact score, but Marby have hit the front. That's the latest I've got off Twitter.
Gave it off to a running Nick Marrick, who went up towards Adam Marrick, but the kick was too far out in front of him. Boundary throw in the result at centre, at half forward here for Greenvale, right on the 50 paintwork. You'd think actually the umpire just taking a...
Guys, we've got a business called Sporting Photos that are actually live tweeting photos from Maribyrnong Park and their game against Keilor, and the latest is that they've hit the front. We do not have an exact score.
Can you believe that? Naina won the clearance in towards the hotspot. Was that a free kick to DeLuca?
Well,
umpire said...
If it was last night's umpires, that was definitely a mark.
Yeah, there is a handball from Nick Marrick to Adam Marrick from the boundary line. Did he get it through just in time? The umpire saying no, touched. In fact, that was Thompson that flew for that mark, not DeLuca. So behind is the result from that passage of play. 14-18, 102, Avondale Heights 6-9-45.
That goal umpire, Teo, you have her name.
Shannon Colgan.
Yeah, she didn't. Took a while to give the signal because she was trying to keep her balance.
No, very, very good umpire, Shannon Colgan, and of course expected, hopefully, to feature in the AFL Women's Exhibition Games later this year.
She did well to keep her feet on that occasion as Avondale Heights just play a bit of kick-to-kick in the back pocket. Again, Patrick Rhodes a long way up the ground, gets involved, and he goes to a switch.
What do you do as a player in this situation when you've had a 90-second, three-quarter time?
Oh, he's gone.
No free kick, and Greenvale have 3-on-1, and that... I don't even know what to say right now. That's just as easy as you like.
Zumbo.
15-18, 108 Greenvale, Avondale Heights 6-9-45, and I mentioned a couple minutes ago that is taking the mickey now, Greenvale, and that's the best way to describe it.
Well, are we bad luck, guys? We've been to 2 games in a row where one team has just not performed to a premier standard of football. It's a little worrying.
Goal number 5 for Joe Gazzo as well. A goal in every quarter.
Sorry, I had that as Zumbo.
Zumbo.
That goal.
Apologies.
Yep. 15-18, 108 to 6-9-45.
That was the scary part about that. Zumbo kicked the goal. There was a 3-on-1. He really should have handballed it, but... as you said, it's almost party time, and it has been for a while. Free kick for a centre square infringement.
Sorry, I was asking in the build-up, what do the Avondale Heights players do in this situation? Do they go into self-preservation mode? I mean, does someone take the initiative out on the ground? It didn't really seem like a productive three-quarter time address. So what happens in this last quarter?
Geez, Hill flew and hit that contest really hard as Avondale go inside 50 with a long kick from DeLuca. Gazzo got one high, free kick. Teo, to answer your question, if I was playing for Avondale Heights, I would be going as hard as I could trying to injure myself for the rest of the season.
Dave, don't be silly.
Because
don't be silly.
I wouldn't want to be out there next week for them as Gazzo goes short and finds Hill about 45 out, 40-degree angle. He's going to back himself with a set shot.
When's the clearance deadline?
Now,
that's what Dave suggested.
I think that's a slight overreaction, guys. They've got a lot of talent in this team, and they can turn things around.
Look, they have played probably the 2 most improved sides in the division so far, Paco and Greenvale. So that is one aspect of it.
Yeah, Hill. Oh, it's a beautiful drop punt off the boot. It's just drifting across the face. He got the distance, no problems. It hit the fence on the full. Just a minus score. A few behinds to start the final quarter for Greenvale. 3 behinds, in fact. And
15-19, 109 to 69-45. It's a match high 63-point margin.
And we have been trying to find positives for Avondale Heights today, and we've mentioned it a few times that 2 new recruits have really been okay, Davies and Miles so far. It's the more established players in this lineup that may need to step it up a bit as the season goes on. They've got a free kick out of side. And again, I think it's Patrick Rose out there. A little dinky Matt Suckling type right foot ball is okay. Mark taken by Cravino, and he will just move it on. Left foot ball, inside 50. Smith came over the top, didn't bring the ball down. Tabner was there. Galea's got some space in the pocket, takes the mark. Difficult angle, but not far away. He's in the shade at the northern end of the grounds, and he has kicked 2 goals today, Dean Galea.
AFL scores full-time Essendon 16-9-105, Carlton 11-18, 84, and early in the last quarter Adelaide 10-5-65, Melbourne 6-10-46.
Disappointing, Dave, and Adrian, you would have thought a decent percentage booster would have been on the cards there, but not to worry as Galea hits the post pretty hard as well. That post is still wobbling. And it's now 6-10-46, Avondale Heights, Greenvale 15-19, 109. And again, inaccurate kicking. This could be a much bigger margin for Greenvale had they've kicked a touch straighter today. A turnover on the broadcast wing, Dave.
Grossman got it towards Cravino, but that's where it came unstuck. Greenvale with the overlap here. Macheski to Adam Marek. He's 55 out. He can run into an open goal. Takes one bounce. He's away. Takes the second bounce. Runs to 10 metres out. Gets around Tanner and misses. That is the most unbelievable behind I have ever seen in football. Adam Marek had 48 minutes to kick the goal. He used every one of them and then missed.
Oh, that's
DK, calm down.
That is a shame because he did all the hard work. He's run, and I said mark it down because that is exactly what he does. He runs and carries and uses the ball, but I don't know. He actually decelerated as he arrived at about 15 metres out to take his kick, and as you say, Dave, almost too much time to think about it. Had there been a little bit more pressure, maybe he just slots it through with a bit of instinct, but on that occasion, had too much time to think it through.
And I know this game's dead, but the Avondale Heights defender did come in and just made him think about it, and it just highlights the importance of that. You never give up on the chase. You can always influence a contest, even if you're nowhere near it. There's Parthenopoulos, who will give away the free kick to Avondale Heights. It's Cravino that will take it. So that was a studs up red car type incident.
Well, I guess you've got the cameras here, so people watching this on edfl.tv can review it for themselves. But I mean, I guess common sense has got to prevail. You know, you can't lead with the studs even if you do end up marking the ball.
Just getting windier as well here at Section Road. The ball's out the back and in the hands of Macheski. He will go over the top and Zumbo has it. True centre wing on the outer side in front of the Avondale Heights bench.
It's a game-high 64-point margin, 10 minutes into the last at the moment. Remember, we're on till 5:30 this afternoon. EDFL review with all the around-the-ground scores.
Good passage here from Avondale to force the turnover, and now Davies has it with a bit of time and space. He kicks in board, looking for Galea. Kick cleared him. Smith's out the back. Should be able to mop up for the Jets. The pressure comes. Got it to Campusano, who clears defensive 50 with a long kick down the line. It was intended for Zumbo, but Avondale Heights with numbers. The short kick there was for Davies. It cleared him, and once again the Jets are going to come away with it here across half-back. They link up by hands. Naina on the true centre wing position. Long kick to Hill. Tries to edge out Tanner. The ball clears the pair. Hill kept his footing. Tanner didn't. Ran towards the boundary line. Kicked on goal and hit the behind post on the full, out of bounds on the full.
Dave, around the ground scores, 20 minutes gone, final quarter. Keilor 7-16-58, trailing Maribyrnong Park by 2 goals now, 10-10-70. Marby up by 2 goals, and that's after they were goalless at half-time.
2 greats of Greenvale recently retired is Trav Jorgensen and Eric Curette. Their numbers have been replaced by some very, very handy players. Tom Hill and Adam Marek. They've had an impact today, that is for sure. Avondale Heights will move it towards the outer wing once more. We're 11 minutes into the last quarter as Grossman will just take that ball over the line. A bit of pressure came from Zumbo and will have a throw-in. So a 2-goal lead for Maribyrnong Park now, Teo.
20 minutes into the last quarter.
Some big finishes around the league today. Not so much here, unfortunately. Hopefully we will get a close one on 98.9 Northwest FM soon enough.
Well, Craigieburn versus Essendon Duda Stars on Anzac Day next week.
Yeah, well, if the Dudas come out and show that sort of form they showed against East Keeler, I'm a bit worried about that one too, Teo, but hopefully that will be a good game as the ball goes out of bounds once more.
Well, we're sweating on the score from Tullamarine versus Craigieburn because Craigieburn did come from a few goals down at half-time with a big third quarter to hit the front, but that one was still up for grabs at the last change.
To Brent Long down the line. Good strong mark is taken on the far side there. Might have been to Davies again. And now they go by hand. Stretton kicks up towards half forward. Taberner got front position. Didn't quite come down with it. Waiting down ground level Stretton onto the loose footy. Campusano leads Galea. Campusano left it behind though. Galea picked up, got it to Rose. Kicked in board. It was looking there for Miles, but it's cut off. Once again, the Jets are going to move it out of defence with relative ease. Naina to DeLuca. He's right in the middle of Section Road. A little chip over the top. Difficult task in the end for his teammates. It comes off hands, and now Avondale with some time and space. Davies can go over the top to Taberner. Elects to go longer than that, and they've got a loose man inside 50. It's Reece Miles. He takes it about 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. He's going to go back and have a set shot for Avondale Heights.
Well, he's got to back himself here from the distance as well.
Yeah, he should kick this goal regardless of the breeze. You'd think here, guys, he should have the distance. So
it has died off a bit now, the breeze, though.
In comes Miles. Right foot drop punt. Looks pretty good. It's just fading late, but not enough. A goal to Miles. Reward for effort, you could say, for a player that has probably had more metres carried than anyone else for Avondale Heights today. He kicks a goal in the last quarter, but it's really no consolation for Avondale Heights, who have been totally outplayed. 15-20, 110. Avondale Heights, 7-10-52. 14 minutes gone, final turn.
Progress score around the grounds, guys. Midway through the last quarter, Hadfield 15-18, 108. Keilor Park 9-12, 66. They've pretty much left them standing after half-time.
There has been the odd car horn or two for an Avondale Heights goal today. Not on that occasion. There was no reaction whatsoever at Section Road. The umpire crosses his arms and will have another ball up.
Claire Varley is back on the sidelines. Claire, you've been over on the Avondale Heights bench.
Yeah, I went over there expecting perhaps something interesting to be said, but it's really, really quiet and really silent, much like their quarter-time huddle.
That's probably no surprise considering the towel's already been thrown in based on the three-quarter time address from Sardi. It wasn't really an address, just a spray. Bit of a spray, really.
Well, he was hoping for them to get their stuff together, but I don't know if they're going to.
It's too late for that now. We're halfway through the last quarter, and the margin is a significant one, 58 points. A little hand pass over the top, and Phil Smith is trying to get himself involved in the contest. Greenvale get some numbers in there, and they force another stoppage.
So do they have a 3 a.m. recovery tomorrow?
Well, I mean, it's hard to know, guys, really. I mean, they're going to do some soul search. They did some soul searching last week. I'm really not sure where you go after you play those cards this week. Maybe it's... we were surprised that there were no changes. Maybe there will be.
Will we see the same 22 next week?
Yeah, the question is, for me, which of these two losses is worse? If this is worse, then you'd really have to ask questions about...
Next week, they've got...
Anzac Day, of course.
Anzac Day twilight game against Aberfeldy. And follow that with Keilor. So still a couple of tough ones to come for Avondale Heights.
Zip and 4.
Could be.
Wow, Morris short to Rose, who once again takes another mark inside 50, but it's his defensive 50 and his kick let him down. It allowed Burns to get onto the loose footy. The handball feeds back. Stillman goes wide to the pocket. Nick Marrick took the mark, kept on running, centering ball. Adams in the square. Oh, a little handball off. It's a little party in the square for Greenvale as Sardo bangs it through.
Maybe one of the goal assist.
I know it's junk time, but we've seen too much of that today. We're seeing that in the first quarter.
Yeah, outnumbered all day. 2-on-1, 2-on-1 in defence, 2-on-1 in attack. It's just, yeah, they're not accountable. They're not accountable, and Sardi really, he's got the list. He's got the quality. It's not like he's got 10 players that wouldn't get a game at any other club or anything like that. He's got the talent, but he's failed to deliver for the past 2 years.
Now, can I say one thing? You see it a lot in the AFL. You cannot miss from there, and that's why clubs work right to the last to make an absolute certainty of the shot for goal. And Marrick, well, he's done himself out of a seventh goal of the day, but Sardo can thank him later with a
He
beer.
did himself out of a 7th goal just before as well.
Brewer to Gazzo to Marek. No mark taken. Inside 50 yet again.
Oh,
How
it's off
many
the ball here.
centre clearances will Greenvale end up with today? And that is another certain goal coming up.
On.
There are two separate spot fires going on at the moment.
Nastasi's.
There might be a player down. In fact, that's not a spot
Nastasi,
fire. That's two teams.
And it was Nick Marek that he dragged down there and gave away the 50.
What's Nastasi doing? That's just undisciplined. It's inexcusable when you're this far down playing like that. It's just not on. That's ridiculous.
Did anybody see the goal kicker for Greenvale? I have my eyes on him, but we'll confirm that in a moment.
Nick Marek.
He's a little fella, whoever it is, Dave Kennedy. He doesn't have much height than anybody else inside that 50 as we speak. Just a few little high fives. Bit of a drink of the water. Dave, you give the score, I'll keep an eye on him.
Okay, so 17-20, 122. The margin is 70 points. Avondale Heights.
Nick Marek.
7-10-52. Nick Marek joins Adam Marek as Marek goal kickers on the ground. 7 between them. And
so they're only 10 points down to Avondale.
it's total obliteration at the moment. Well, I was looking down at the list. They've got a lot of names that end in O, don't they, Greenvale? Campusano, Gazzo, Sardo, Zumbo.
Teo, you're our man on the buttons today, and might not get the calculator out. What is Avondale Heights' current percentage?
Now you're testing me. All right, I'll get back to you on that.
Back in the middle.
Just a quick look. We want to know.
It might still yet improve or get worse, but an early indication would always be good, as Naina feeds a handball from ground level to Macheski, and now to Brewer, who goes back, and Greenvale go backwards to come forwards. The mark is taken there by Lenny. Over the top, looking for Stillman. Handball didn't find him on the full. He gathered, though, and then went long to the top of the square. Hill appealing for a free kick. It's a holding free kick that's going to go to Avondale Heights, so DeBritt was held on to by Muller. Free kick in the back pocket, hands off to Grossman, and Avondale Heights out of trouble for now.
The reason I'm asking about the percentage is because it does seem like Adrian Jamieson, they have thrown in the towel, but they've given away too many easy goals in this last quarter, and if they do manage to get themselves into the season, start getting a few wins, they might hover around that bottom half of the top 4, and that's where percentage becomes really important.
Yeah, it's massive. And
that's why it surprises me that the lack of effort deep inside 50 seems to just keep on plaguing them. Anyway, the ball
turnover
is in the middle of the ground once more. 2 Jets onto 1 Avondale Heights player, and guess who won the ball?
Well,
it was a Jet.
It's 40-45 at the moment, guys.
Naina got taken high, free kick. That is a percentage of 45, which means they've been more than doubled in both games so far this season.
When have Avondale got Northern?
Not for a couple of weeks yet, guys. They got
that could be much of the round.
Aberfeldy, they've got Keilor, and then they've got West Coburg.
Let's hope the away team in that one brings their class jumper. And as the ball goes out of bounds, we'll have a throw in again, left forward pocket.
Still sweating on around the ground scores, guys, but the latest we heard, of course, was that Marby had hit the front. We've got full time here. Keilor 8-16-64, Maribyrnong Park 12-11-83.
Wow.
Maribyrnong Park wins by 19 points.
Wow. A huge result in Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division. This one is beyond any sort of doubt. Free kick going Avondale Heights way inside their defensive 50. Not happy. Some of their supporters still at this late stage of the game. Here's Lee Owen, soon to be known as Lee Owen 2 for Avondale Heights. He goes short to Tanner, and now to Grossman. They work the handball around inside their defensive 50, and eventually Rose once again takes a mark at half back in unfamiliar territory. His kick this time was better than his last. It finds Morris, who can go inboard towards Miles, who's been pretty good for them. One of the few that stood up for Avondale today. Davies, another one that stood up. That kick towards Galea, reasonably good out in front. He disposed of Campusano, threw it on the boot. It's not quite going to have the distance. Players still coming from everywhere.
3 on 1.
Naina is the one that emerges with it and goes short to DeLuca, who's doing it in defence. Got it to Brewer, and they can distribute from half back. Brewer looks up and has options aplenty on the far side. He goes with a perfect kick. Gazzo's screaming for it. That's where it goes. It clears him. Muller was waiting behind, runs in and kicks another point.
Well, we've got a full-time score in Division 2, and I think we might have a new premiership favourite as well. Roxburgh Park 12-17-89, smashing Coburg Districts 2-7-19 by 70 points. That is one heck of a scoreline.
Dave Kennedy very happy to hear that. He is our resident Roxy man, as Avondale Heights will go again once more to the outer side, and a little kick down the line. A slightly dangerous contest there for Aaron Williams, and it goes out of bounds. He was up against Matt Smith.
Game high margin now, guys, 71 points.
22 minutes into the last quarter. It's going to be a pretty interesting aftermath to this one. It was interesting last week, and Avondale Heights got thumped by Pascoe Vale. Now it's Greenvale giving him the touch-up. Half forward, Byrne. Lost it, got it back. Hand pass inboard, Rose. Now, Galea's been the only man inside 50 for quite a while, and it's not even coming in there for the time being. Now it might. Taberner just lobs a high one, and Galea's got 3 to beat. And that's all I've got to say about that one. Out the back, Camposano. Hand pass over the top. And because he didn't get boots of ball, it's going to stay inside 50, but now a free kick.
In the back.
Another just nothing to really mention of that inside 50, Adrian Jameson.
Well,
That's 3-on-1.
Full time, we'll try and get Clare Valley to grab a player as they leave the ground. And, of course, we'll try and get Shannon Grant and maybe Adam Marrick up here in the box after they go in and sing the song. But, Claire, anyone other than Adam Marrick, try and grab us a player at full time.
So, little downfield free kick coming up here for Greenvale. Rowan concedes territory, looking for the switch. So, Burns at full back, and just coming off the bench is Zumbo. You can almost hear him in our effects mic. He was screaming loudly for it. They ignore him and go to Stillman in board, Brewer in board, who kicks up to half forward. Good mark in front though. Smith cuts it off, and he runs off half back for Avondale Heights. Takes a couple of bounces. Sardo does the chasing. He got it away in time though. The kick up towards Byrne was reasonable, but good defence from the Jets. They force it out of play at half back, and a boundary throw in the result. 123 plays 52, 71 points in favour of Greenvale.
There's a free kick down here to Rose, I think.
So Avondale Heights' chance to add another major.
There's a bit of a jumper, bit of a high contact around the neck area, so yeah, Rose has got the free kick here.
So we'll have the shot on goal coming up. I'll just take the call from Evan here, Dave. It's your kick as Rose actually goes the pass, and mark taken. Williams will have a shot and kick a goal.
So his second.
And I'm not going to talk that one up. It's been a pretty ugly day for Avondale Heights. A stock standard shot on goal, and Williams does get his second goal, Teo, both in the second half, as Avondale Heights move to 18-58. Greenvale 17-21, 123. So the scoring shots count is 38-18.
Back to 65 points.
What's their percentage? Back to above 50?
It might be above 50.
Might crack the half ton now, as 25 minutes tick by in this final term. It's been a dirty day for Avondale Heights, as Taberner is now thrown into the ruck. He's got to go up against DeLuca, who wins it convincingly. A 20-metre tap to half forward. Look at the ferocity on the ball carrier still being shown by Greenvale. In the end, Avondale do well to avoid it. Lee Owen had a big one-on-one to win there. Got the handball off to Jones, who tries to go back towards Owen. That's where it came unstuck. Look at the Jets, they're still moving it forward. Zumbo asking for people to lead towards him. In the end, he just sat the kick up, and Grossman came across the front of the pack and punched it out of play. Boundary throw in, inside 50 for Greenvale. 25 and a half minutes gone, final term.
Clearances for the day, Greenvale 45 to Avondale Heights 23. So they've absolutely smashed them in the clearances today, and a lot of other facets of the game.
Throw in left half forward. Thompson just centres the ball in, and in amongst a couple of Avondale Heights defenders. A nice, easy mark for Greenvale. I think it's Nick Marrick. Dave, is it? No, it's Machevsky, who will go back, and that's just another indictment on this defence of Avondale Heights today.
Yeah, marks inside 50. Jammer, you got that stat there?
26 to Greenvale, 19 to Avondale.
See, 26 marks inside 50.
That was the key stat we're looking for at the start of the day. Shot on goal for Machevsky. Daniel Machevsky, he has his shot now. Kicked one last week, and now he's got two. 18-21, 129 Greenvale, Avondale Heights 8-10, 58. We're getting ready for post-game here on 98.9 Northwest FM. There will be interviews, there will be analysis, there will be scores, so stay tuned all the way through to 5:30 today. Hopefully the post-game is much more exciting than the main event itself, which has been pretty lackluster today at Section Road.
Adam, can you send Sardi a text and see if he'll come and talk to us? Or
You got his number for me?
I thought you had it on speed dial, did you? Best mates.
Jeez, if he does come up, it's going to be a fiery interview, so make sure you stick with us on Northwest
Stevens Moldhouse type deal.
As Greenvale go forward once again. You can be Mark Stevens, Chief. I'm just going to keep quiet and watch it all unfold as Thompson goes inside 50, another mark inside 50. Put that on the score sheet or on the mark sheet, stat sheet, whatever you want to call it. It was Gazzo and another mark inside 50, Nick Marrick. And that takes my counter. I would have them as 28 marks inside 50 now. Adrian Jamison.
Correct. You should become a statsman, Dave.
Nick Marrick. Nah, we've already got the best statsman in the business. Nick Marrick.
Some good money in stats, Dave, as I was told today.
Very interesting.
Better than working on Neighbours, hey, Adam.
Here's Nick Marrick.
Apparently. We might pull you up on that one.
35 out, 45-degree angle straight through the middle. Another goal. Listen to the horns here at Section Road. They don't care that the game was over at half-time. They still give it a bip and a beep, and they applaud their team's magnificent efforts today.
Who was that goal kicker today?
Nick Marrick. 2 in the last quarter for him, and he joins other Marricks on the ground to become multiple goal kickers.
That whole passage was just too easy. They just cleared the ball easily out of the centre, kicked it inside 50, chipped it inside 50, kicked the goal, and we're back in the middle. It's just too easy.
19-21, 135, plays 8-18, 58 at 77 points. Guys, who kicked the second to last goal for Greenvale?
Yeah, we're just a little bit of conjecture here about this.
You've got Naina 3 goals, Dave?
I've got him as 2.
I got Naina as 2 goals. 2 goals.
Well, it's all academic anyway. As Avondale Heights get a rare clearance and it gets inside 50, free kick will go Patrick Rose's way. Now,
did Macheski kick the goal? No, he missed, did he?
Well, that's the point, isn't it, Dave? We've lost count. It's just been that sort of day. It's all been, like I said, just academic. It'll come up on Sporting Pulse later on tonight. But Patrick Rose will now have the last kick of the game. It matters little besides a touch of percentage. He can't pass this one off. The man on the mark is about 40. It's a fairly lengthy run-up for Avondale Heights. So this will decide the final margin. Section Road, the right foot ball is on its way. Looked nice and fluent. He kicked through the ball and it is a goal. So 19-64 Avondale Heights, Greenvale 19-21, 135. That is your final score and the final margin 69 or 71 points. 71 points in the end for Greenvale, who go to 1-1, and Avondale Heights. Well, there was an early morning recovery session last Sunday. We'll wait and see what happens tomorrow.
All right, we've got some full-time scores here. Oak Park 14-12-96 has defeated West Meadows 12-8-80. We'll check in with Adam Russell soon. And also Hadfield 17-18, 120, defeating Keilor Park 11-13-79.
Well, some stats from today. Contested ball, Greenvale 87, Avondale Heights 65. Clearances